You do, what, I just heard, maybe I'm wrong, but we read it yesterday, that you are doing House of Blue Leaves with Ben Stiller. Such a great casting, John Guerra's House of Blue Leaves on Broadway. When? When are you going to do that? In between?
May, I think May.
For a limited run?
May to July, May, June, July. Yeah, that seems right, May to July.
I saw you on stage in Frankie and Johnny.
You did?
I did.
That was me?
I
Oh,
saw
thank
all
you.
of you on stage in Frankie and Johnny. It was
Take a
incredible.
number.
It was incredible. I
Thank
mean,
you.
anybody who saw it knows that it was. So what about working on Broadway? You've done a lot of Broadway.
I have. You know, it's the kind of thing everybody dreams about, you know, doing this big fancy play and a big famous old theater, and all that fabulousness is indeed part of the experience. But, you know, there is also the corporate side of it too, which sometimes does get hard for me. The publicity aspect of it is very important, so you do a lot of press, and then the ticket sale information, and if you have this much pre-sales, and, you know, the show will only run, I mean, all that stuff that's always being fed into your head, it takes a certain amount of discipline to really just block it out and just go there and do your work. I did a play, whenever the hell that was, I don't know where we are now, this year, a little thing, at the Peter J. Sharp Theater on 42nd Street, little theater. It had like 100 seats, I think. It was so great. It was exactly what I do this for. You know, it was a little play that would likely not be produced in a larger venue. Me and Allison Pill, who's an actress I think is just
great.
Phenomenal, and that was the experience that I tend to, I'm more drawn towards. Little things, chance taking. Not everyone's going to like it, and we know that going in, but I am inspired, and I get to be cast in a way that...
Have you ever seen House of Blue Leaves?
I did. I saw it with all those years ago with John Mahoney and Stockard Channing.
You had said when you accepted your Emmy that you didn't think you were funny. And every time we watch Nurse Jackie, you make us laugh. So I wanted to know, first of all, why you think that you're not funny. And secondly, when Ms. Franco was talking about how there's absolutely no similarity between Carmela and Jackie, I would like you to, if you don't mind, to talk a little bit about what you had to go through to find out the difference between Carmela and Jackie.
I like the way he called me Franco. Now I'm an Italian. It's cool.
Thank
you.
When I think of a funny actress, I think of Tina Fey. I think of Lucille Ball, you know, Megan Mullally or whatever. These people who really, like I was saying before about certain kinds of comedies, sitcom type stuff that I really don't have a facility for. That on some level I don't even understand it really, how to approach it. And in those terms, I never thought of myself as that kind of actress. And I think as soon as I try to think, if people categorize me as funny, or that becomes a label, or I feel on some level pressured, I don't know, or that's too strong a word, but then all of a sudden nothing's funny anymore. Then it becomes a different, I end up trying to be funny. I just never thought of myself as a funny actress.
It's such a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
And I've
Thank
enjoyed
you.
your career.
Oh, no, she means
now
you.
I have
It's my best friend.
You two more. I have a question about the last episode of The Sopranos. And when you guys were given the script for the last episode, did it go further than what was shown?
No.
And so what was the cast take on what happened to the family?
I thought I was missing a page. I really did. I was like...
Like everybody else in America who said, what I do? I didn't touch it, I swear.
And most of the cast also was a little confused, or?
You know what, there was so much about that show that the cast was confused about that I think that was not really any different from anything else. But no, I don't think anybody ever really talked about it. And there was a certain amount of secrecy around the last episode, even among the cast and crew. And it got to a point where people who worked on the show, like extras or day players who were only there for a little bit, were taking the sides and giving them to places where people could find out what was happening. It got really kind of yucky. Mm-hmm. So David Chase was giving out some pretend sides to some people. He wrote a fake ending for these people. I mean, you know, it became like a cat and mouse game.
There was a lot of talk about that, about other endings.
That was the only one he ever meant to
But they
happen,
were
and it was the
fake.
only one we ever
Yeah.
shot. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You had mentioned that Nurse Jackie hit close to home in part because you two had struggled with addiction. What were you addicted to, and how did it inform the way you played Nurse Jackie?
How did it what?
And how did it inform the way you played Nurse Jackie?
I drank a lot of alcohol for a lot of years. I didn't because I saw what it did to my family, So I didn't drink until I got to college. And once I started drinking, I was like, oh, now I get it. And, I liked it too much. I have a predisposition to it because of there's a lot of it in my family. But also, the more you learn about addiction, a lot of it is physiological and genetic. And it is, on some levels, an allergy to certain things. And the way the allergy manifests is by craving it. It's sort of fascinating. But anyway, yeah, of course, I have struggled with it. I struggled with it for years. I'm now 19 years sober, which is beyond my comprehension, but thank you. And it is a life beyond my wildest dreams, which is what they promise in AA. You'll see what happens as you get sober, and I'm still shaking my head like, how did this happen? But addiction is no joke. It's just awful, and I see it around me everywhere still. And you can't get angry at these people because it's a disease. Certainly some people disagree with that word, but it is what I believe anyway. And it's a heartbreak on every level. So I have a special place in my heart for it, not just because of my own experience with it. There are people who are not as whatever. Who knows what makes one person get sober and one not? It's just hard to tell. Have they seen other people get sober? Did they have a reference experience of something fantastic in their life that they can aim towards? Because some people don't. They don't know it can be any better than that, and so they really don't have any reason to try hard, or who knows? It's a complicated, very precious issue to me. So I'm one of the very lucky ones.
Do you think this life would have happened to you if you hadn't stopped drinking?
It's an interesting question.
You're like my favorite interview
That's
subject ever. I'm
that's a
taking
good
you
question
around.
because
I'm
I know the
taking you
answer.
around.
I don't know. Probably not. Probably not.
I asked Edie last night, we were at the awards ceremony, it was time for her to leave, and I said, is this the moment you wish you were drinking? And she said, no, this is the moment I'm glad I'm not drinking.
But what happens is I don't go to those things anymore
I know.
because of that. I mean, even I talked to Steve Buscemi after the Boardwalk Empire thing, which was it was madness. He was just being attacked from it's so huge. I mean, the Ziegfeld. Yeah. And I said, so how'd you do? I saw him the next day when we were shooting. He said, after 4 or 5 glasses of wine, it's all fine. I said, yeah, try that sober.
Try that
It's
sober.
like, not a chance. I mean, whatever. You learn how to live your life without it.